On MSNSportsNet.com, we welcome you to the United Bank Playbook. In New York, I'm Tony Caridi, along with Mountaineer head coach Bob Huggins, as West Virginia gets set to take on the Connecticut Huskies in the opening round on Wednesday at high noon. Hugs, obviously it's a rematch against a team that you battled down to the final minutes with in the regular season. Controversial call in that game. Put this into perspective for us. Where are you as a basketball team compared to where you were then? Where do you think UConn is?
Well, I think UConn probably they're probably playing better right now. Jim's back, and I think that helps them. We're better. I mean, we're much better. We're so much better defensively than what we were at that point in time. We've got to do a good job running offense, and I think we can. They're so big and so athletic, and they're starting Roscoe Smith at small forward now. So he was their power forward a year ago. So they basically have couple centers and a power forward on the front line, so they rebounded obviously very well, and that enables them to get the ball out to the guards and run very well. So we've got to keep them out of transition and try to keep them off the glass.
What do you think the last two wins for your team has done to their confidence? You in practice today, you noticing a little more bounce?
Well, I thought we had great bounce. A few of them I didn't think their minds were there, but we had a lot of bounce. I mean, I thought we were enthusiastic, and we just struggle at times on the offensive end and making the right decisions, but I guess that's when you have all that youth, I guess that comes with the territory.
Big story, obviously, since West Virginia got here is the fact that Kevin Jones was not named the Player of the Year in the Big East Conference. Jay Crowder of Marquette gets that, but you feel even more stunned by the fact of Sunday's announcement that he was not a unanimous first-team pick, which means one of these coaches did not think he was in the top five.
Yeah, Jay Crowder had a great year, and we certainly don't disparage what Jay Crowder did for the year. But for somebody to think that Kevin Jones wasn't a first-team pick, I mean, I don't know. I mean, they didn't watch the games, or didn't have ESPN. I just can't. Tony, honestly, I can't figure it out. I mean, when a guy leads the league in scoring, he leads the league in rebounding. He's not a guy who hunts shots. He leads the league in offensive rebounding. He is, whatever he is, I don't know, 7th or 8th probably in field goal percentage. He shoots 77% from the foul line. I mean, what else do you want from the guy to do? And on top of that, has taken 7 freshmen and a transfer and put them on his back and say, come on with me. Right. And I don't know, when the ballots came out, I don't know how early people voted, but when the ballots came out at that point in time, we're 7-9, and went on to win our next 2 games to finish 8th. We were picked 7th, we finished 8th, and we all know we could have won a few more and didn't, but it wasn't KJ's fault. Yeah. I mean, I don't understand. I don't pretend to understand. I take those things very seriously, in that. You have kids' feelings at stake, and so I always sat with our sports information director, who watches a lot of basketball, with my assistants, and we really try to, and we don't just write them down. We write them down. We look at them. Did we forget somebody? Is there somebody else that deserved to be there? And I mean, obviously, somebody didn't do their homework.
Yeah. 2 additional topics here, and more about voting. KJ didn't get the numbers he needed. You are in the midst, in the final days now, up until Thursday, with the Coaches Challenge, and I know you want to encourage Mountaineer fans to get out there and vote, because there's $100,000 at stake.
Well, $100,000 at stake for our cancer center, $100,000 that will stay in our state, and it really doesn't cost you anything. It really doesn't take a whole lot of effort. You just log on and click vote, and it's We're I think as we speak, 3 percentage points down to Ohio State, and it's just a great thing for our state, and not just the $100,000 would be phenomenal to go towards research, and I think we're at about 650 now, and that would make it $750,000, which we expect to get it to $1 million here very soon. And that's really important. But I think the other thing is the notoriety that our state would get, the notoriety that our cancer center would get. Mm-hmm. And just people sit and say, wow, West Virginia beat out all those other schools. They must have a great fan base. And I think a lot of people know that already, but I think that would really solidify things. And and certainly bring great recognition to our university, our state, and the Cancer Center.
And to vote, all you have to do is go onto the internet at espn.com/infinity and cast your vote. Last thing here, West Virginia against Michigan in basketball. It came out, the official announcement came out, and I know that's a game you've been working on here for almost a couple of months. Why did you like the game?
Well, the biggest reason it's in New York, and we're going to play at Barclays Center, which in Brooklyn, which is the new arena that the Nets are going to play in, and it's John and I have a good relationship. It makes us better. I think it's a game that makes us better. It's an RPI game. It's a lot of different things. It's a national television game, and a pretty healthy guarantee, which helps as well. So I think a lot of reasons, but I think primarily the fact that we get to come back to New York and play on national television and play against a great opponent and get to coach against a great coach.
Yep. That's a wrap. Coach, we wish you the best of luck against UConn. Again, the Mountaineers tip it off against the Huskies at noon. Pre-game coverage on MSN Radio begins at 11:30. Along with Bob Huggins, I'm Tony Caridi, and this has been the United Bank Playbook.